Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for a moment of silence.
From Homestead Media, this is HHS In Depth. Today is Friday, September 8th, and we're back on HHS In Depth. Here's a quick overview of today's show. We'll start by showing how you can be interactive with the yearbook that will come out for this school year. Next, we'll bring you a look at Key Club, which is a nationwide club that is almost 100 years old. You'll learn how Homestead students can gain valuable leadership skills at each meeting. Then you'll see how the Spartana is moving to a digital publication and when and how you can catch their online articles. Finally, we'll take you inside Fusion Yoga, where 2 Homestead students are helping teach the disciplined exercise to others. All those stories, plus Down to the Wire and a weather report we're sure you'll be excited for. Stick around. This is HHS In Depth for Friday, September 8th. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. This is HHS In Depth. I'm Bryce Garrett.
And I'm Matthew Watton. And Bryce, with tonight's big homecoming game, I think everyone is interested in what the weather will be like at the stadium tonight.
No question, Matthew. With so many things planned and a big crowd expected, let's bring in our weather reporter, Rowan Walsh. And Rowan, can you tell us what tonight's conditions will be like at the football game versus Northrop?
Of course, Bryce. Kickoff tonight will be in the high 60s with a light breeze, followed by mid 60s in the later game. I'll be back to you later with a full weather report. Back to you guys in the studio.
We appreciate the weather report, Rowan. Tonight may be the first night you'll want to wear long sleeves out to the game.
I'm not complaining. I always like football when it's a little cooler outside. Roman will be back to give us a full week update a little later on.
HHS In Depth, National News.
And now let's shift our focus to the nation's headlines. In recent national news, COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations are on the rise, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. However, the director of the CDC reminded people that the U.S. is seeing about 1/4 of hospitalizations when you compare August of 2023 compared to August of 2022. In other news, just as last week's Hurricane Idalia left a trail of damage to be cleaned up, Tropical Storm Lee is expected to strengthen into a major hurricane that could make landfall in the Caribbean this weekend. Tropical Depression 13 formed Tuesday morning in the central tropical Atlantic Sea, and now Lee is forecast to strengthen into a Category 4 hurricane by tomorrow. At this time, most predictions have Lee missing the southern Atlantic coast.
Thank you, Matthew, for the national news update. Now back to news of Homestead. Each year, the majority of Homestead students purchase a yearbook to cherish their high school memories forever. But now you can help make the yearbook be more memorable by getting involved with their new app and the Yearbook Club. To learn more about this, here's HHS In Depth reporter Jaron Ellis.
Every year, the yearbook staff starts from scratch to make over 200 pages by the start of the next school year. A lot goes into making it, but what is the process?
We start with assigning spreads to various people depending on what their interests are. Then they go and cover that spread, so that involves taking pictures, interviewing people. Then they write their story using the information they've gathered. And then we go through several rounds of editing the spread. If there's no revisions needed, we then approve that spread and send it in for publishing.
Always striving to grow and improve, the yearbook team has found an accessible way to show off some of your memories in the yearbook by using your smartphone.
So Yearbook Snap is a free app. It basically allows you to upload pictures. You'll need your school email to do so, and then there is a password. So that password is all caps HHS23. and it allows you to upload to a certain amount of pictures, and it asks you to identify the people in the pictures. We're hoping to do more spreads covering what people did over the summer. So if people have any cool photos from trips that they did, if they could upload those and send them in, and then we'd be able to have a way of contacting them for more information.
Along with Yearbook Snap, a club has been created for more students to get involved in the process of making the yearbook.
So we're starting a yearbook club this year to give students an opportunity to see what all goes into the creation of the yearbook. And if they enjoy it, then they have the opportunity in the future to possibly enroll in the class full time.
If you have any additional questions about the yearbook, you can contact Ms. Barron with the email address shown here. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Jaron Ellis.
Thank you for the story, Jaron. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Want to learn more about Key Club and the service opportunities they offer? Don't go anywhere. I'll be back later with the story.
Tonight, the Spartans return home to face the Northrop Bruins in the SAC matchup. Kickoff is at 7, only on YouTube at Homestead Media. Welcome back to HHS In Depth. Welcome back. Homestead Spartan Alliance invites you to kick off their competition season with a food truck pep rally, which will take place tomorrow from noon to 2 p.m. Enjoy lunch with the band, eat some great food, and cheer them on.
Do you ever get to school and realize you forgot to eat breakfast? Well, you're in luck. FCCLA will continue opening their coffee bar, where they will be serving coffee, chai tea, bottled water, chocolate milk, Pop-Tarts, muffins, and more. The coffee bar is located outside the cafeteria each morning from 7:15 to 7:35 a.m.
Juniors and seniors, please see Mrs. Connerly in the 9th grade academy office to sign up for in-school college visits. There are a number of colleges visiting Homestead between now and the end of October.
Interested in DECA? Their call-out meeting will be Thursday, September 21st after school in the cafeteria. If you're interested in hearing what DECA is all about, you'll want to attend the meeting.
HHS Speech and Debate will hold its first call-out meeting of the season on Monday, September 11th, immediately following the school day in room 710, Coach Trice's room. If you're interested in participating in speech and debate this year, or are interested in finding out more information, please plan on attending the meeting.
Interested in learning more about biology, chemistry, engineering, or physics? Well, Science Olympiad is the place for you. Their call-out meeting will be September 12th. Go learn more about this competitive academic team in Dr. Klein's room, room 201, from 2:40 to 4 o'clock p.m. Contact Dr. Klein or Alina Friedman at the email addresses shown here for more information. In 1925, Key Club was developed in a California high school, and ever since, the club has been building leaders each and every year.
And at Homestead, students have opportunities to do many things through the club, including volunteer service. HHS In Depth reporter Graham DeWitt is in now to tell you more about Key Club and the recent service project they just completed.
Some students here at Homestead enjoy getting the opportunity to serve others. The organization known as Key Club gives students the opportunity to do so.
Key Club is an international service organization, and here at Homestead, our main function is to connect students who want to volunteer with the organizations that need volunteers.
We try to grow our impact each year and make sure that we can reach as many people as we can.
In a project they did last week, Key Club had the chance to help some kids that are currently in Lutheran Hospital.
We are making hearts and cards for children at the Lutheran Children's Hospital that are running out of motivation, so we're just trying to lift their spirits.
Key Club gets inspiration for their service projects in many different ways.
We have resources from Indiana all the way up to the nationwide level. And I have had many experiences being in the hospital, just being down, and just the little things have always made me keep going and making sure that I always have someone there for me, whether it's my parents or other people around for me.
Key Club will be accepting new members until October 14th. If you're interested in joining Key Club, make sure to email Xander, Layla, or Mrs. Crawford for more information. I'm Graham DeWitt reporting for HHS In Depth.
Thanks, Graham. And now let's take a look at the clubs meeting over the next week at Homestead. The call-up meeting for Homestead's Young Progressives is after school today in room 932 until 3:30 p.m. Psychology Club will meet today at 2:40 in room 714. Minority Student Union will meet today in room 718 from 2:40 to 3:20. Environmental Club meets Monday at 2:45 in room 204. The Gay Straight Alliance meets next Tuesday after school in Mr. Hill's room 600A. Film Club meets next Tuesday after school in Mrs. Smith's room 614 to finish Spider-Man. Students for Life meets Tuesdays until 3:15 in Mr. Tucky's room 503.
More clubs meeting over the next week. Audio aficionados will meet after school next Tuesday in room LM 1015. Women in STEM Club will hold their call-out meeting on Tuesday, September 12th after school in room 906. Latin Club meets next Tuesday after school in room 604B. Business Club meets next Wednesday, September 13th in room 529 from 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. Creative Writing Club meets every Wednesday after school in room 932 until 3:45 p.m. Philosophy Club will meet Wednesday in room 614 after school. Equestrian Club will meet next Thursday at 2:40 in room 614. K-Pop Club meets after school next Friday in room 924 until 3:30 p.m. For more information on the clubs, check out the daily announcement sheet on Canvas. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Even though we had 3 days off last weekend, our athletic teams were in action and they made the most of it. I'll get you caught up in what you might have missed later in Down to the Wire.
Welcome back to HHS In Depth.
We're back on HHS In Depth, and Bryce, the start of this week felt more like August, but the last few days have been nearly perfect.
Let's find out how long it sticks around. Weather reporter Rowan Walsh is in the studio and ready to fill you in on what next week's weather has to offer.
That's right. And although tonight is going to be a cloudy high 60s during our homecoming game, we can expect this weekend's weather to rise into the mid-70s and taper off into the low 70s to high 60s by the end of next week. Saturday is going to have a high of 74 and a low of 53 into the night. Sunday will be a sunny 77 degrees, falling into the mid-50s later. Monday has a high of 78 but a low of 57 at night. After Monday, things start to cool down a bit, as Tuesday is going to be a high of 68 with some light morning showers that mirror Wednesday's weather. This will be our first glimpse of fall, as temperatures drop below 50 degrees in the morning, so you may need to bring a coat. Thursday will be partly cloudy with a high of 68 and a low of 48. It looks like fall is on its way, so try to enjoy the last of these summer days. Back to you, Bryce and Matthew.
Thank you for the weather report, Rowan. All returning students should remember the monthly publication that they received last year from Spartana. Now they're getting rid of their physical copies and going online. Reporter Mara Nicholson will fill us in on why the transition is happening and how this will affect the staff moving forward.
As the ink dries on the pages of Homestead's past, the school newspaper is boldly embracing the future by transitioning into an online format. This raises the question as to why, and if this was a decision, or if it was a result of a monetary circumstance.
Recently, there was a new state law that prohibits public schools to charge mandatory fees for students. The Spartana was funded by those mandatory fees. Because we're not getting funding anymore, it's going to be challenging. But going online is definitely cheaper because it costs, anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 an issue. So hopefully that'll help sustainability in the future.
Although the transition was not made by choice, the Spartana staff is adjusting tremendously. However, this does come with challenges.
Unfortunately, I think that our readership is going to decline just because teachers are no longer handing out the Spartanas to their students. But I do think that there's the opportunity that we will reach more people outside of Homestead.
The digital copies have also brought about positive changes that the staff is eagerly taking advantage of.
With it being online now, we'll be able to upload whenever we want, and it'll also give us more time. So now that everything's digital, we can just edit online, and it's a lot more convenient and faster too.
Although there is not an official release date for their first online issue, they are aiming for either September or October. If you'd like to find more, you can visit the Spartana website. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Mara Nicholson.
All right, thank you, Mara. Well, this past week was a short stretch of days. An even bigger stretch are those that the instructors at Fusion Yoga lead. HHS In Depth reporter Caroline Burns brings you a story about the Homestead students who double as yoga instructors.
Many Homestead students are looking to fitness to better both their physical and mental health. Here at Fusion Yoga, a local yoga studio, several have even spent countless hours and time to achieve their yoga instructor certification.
Fusion has been open since 2016 when co-owners Celeste Sexton and Meg Heminger decided to take their love of yoga to the Fort Wayne community. Since the beginning, Fusion has offered instructor certification training that several past and present Spartans have taken.
I got my Sculpt 45 certification here so I can teach Sculpt classes, but I hope to get my 200-hour yoga training so that way I can teach yoga classes as well. I think that would be so cool.
So the certification that I'm doing is 200 hours and it's for yoga. It's very intense training, but it's really rewarding once you get your certification.
Fusion is very inclusive towards students and offers a student discount, different affordable membership options, and drop-in classes.
So you can just do a drop-in anytime you want, or you could buy like a 5-class pass, a 10-class pass, really anything, and then you can do a student monthly, an individual monthly, or a couples monthly.
In the midst of the everyday crazy, yoga is seen as an escape for many students. Practicing yoga not only helps them stay active, but the spiritual aspect can be a crucial element to keeping mental health in check.
So the aspect of yoga is really just finding your inner Ujjayi breath, which is like slow breathing and like finding calmness within yourself. It takes a while to work on it, but once you have it, it's just so easy to come back to every class.
With several different types of classes with different skill levels, Fusion Yoga is perfect for anyone, so be sure to check it out.
Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Caroline Burns.
All right, thank you, Caroline. And now it's time for another edition of Down to the Wire. This week, Hunter Wise is in to get a look at the week it was for Homestead Athletics.
Welcome back to Down to the Wire. I'm Hunter Wise. This week was one of the better weeks in sports this year. Last Friday, the Spartans beat the Wayne Generals 41-10. Some notable performances saw Wyatt Little with an interception return to the house in the first quarter. Michael White threw for an 81% completion rate and ran it in for 6 in the fourth quarter. Also in the fourth quarter, Isle Taylor had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. It was an exceptional weekend for the boys tennis team after dominating in the Carroll Invite, sweeping Delta and Hamilton Southeastern 5-0. And they kept that momentum to win the final 4-1 against Cathedral. Attention baseball players, fall workouts began on Monday, September 11th. If you did not attend the call-out meeting last week, then stop by and see Coach Bile in room 718. All physicals and permission forms must be completed and authorized in final forms before you can participate. The girls' cross-country team competed in the Marion Invitational last Saturday. In the Invitational, the team got runner-up, but senior Addison Canablo took first place overall and even set a new meet record with a time of 16:59. Our girls' golf team competed in the Carroll Invitational last weekend and came out on top as the champions. They shot an incredible even par with a 288. Domenica Cassini shot an 80. Scarlett Sank had a 76. Bree Knoll got a 73. Cassie Ayers shot a 70. And Eliza Saul shot an incredible 3 under par over the weekend. Congratulations to all sports teams that competed this week. That'll do it for this week's edition of Down to the Wire. Thank you for watching. Bryce, Matthew, back to you.
All right, thank you, Hunter. This has been HHS In Depth. Make sure to check our socials for updates on the HHS ID team and our upcoming projects.
Enjoy today's homecoming pep session as well as the homecoming football game tonight.
Have a great weekend, Homestead, and we'll see you back here next week.